Welcome once again to our channel, and it's good to have you here again. And we'll be talking about Arsenal. In our last video or in 2 videos ago, I did say that we are going to look at the season review for the top club, especially the tops, the traditional top six club comprising of Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham, and uh, um, Arsenal. We did talk about Manchester United in our last video. Please do well to check out on our channel and just check the link in the description. But today we'll be looking at Arsenal. What a club! Very, very fantastic club. I think over the course of a season, apart from Manchester United fan, I think Arsenal fans, they are the ones that actually give me I don't want to say give me a lot of trouble, but they actually have their way of calling me out. By the way, two of our admins as at Soccer World, they are Arsenal fans. We have Famex, he's an Arsenal fan, but he does not like Ateta at all. And we have Victoria, an Arsenal fan, but a part-time Manchester City fan. People look for a way to just celebrate something, and I think Manchester City gave them a chance. Manchester City gave them something to celebrate. However, Manchester City themselves did not have anything to celebrate this season. So both the headquarter and the branch office, nothing. But it's good to be back here. And we'll be looking at Arsenal. We'll be reviewing the season for Arsenal. And straight, I'm going to look at certain things that I think they did wrong. First, Arsenal signed defender last season, right? Last summer, and they knew how to sign defenders. Like they keep on signing defender upon defender upon defender. Oh, but that's not bad. I think they are solid. Fear they are solid at the back, but their main issue this season that just ended now was that they did not score enough goals. And let me give you a start. There is no forward in there's no forward in Arsenal team that scored 10 league goals this season. Kai Havertz, their highest goal scorer in the Premier League, scored 9 goals. Gabriel Martinelli, followed by Martinelli that scored 8 goals. Leo Trossard scored 8 goals. So that's like kind of the same problem Chelsea face also with Nicola Jackson. We did not expect Arsenal to face this kind of problem because looking at the years they've invested into their project. So their reluctance to sign a center forward, a top class center forward last season, actually, we can't say that's what cost them the league because Liverpool are good for what they do. For what they did, Liverpool are actually good, but we can say that's one of the reasons they lost the league title. And when you look at another stat that I have here, we have that they had 14 draws, like 14 draws in the league. That is too much for a team that wants to become champion, for a team that is competing for the title. 14 draws. We can tie this also to the fact that they didn't sign a striker last summer. So what did Arsenal did wrong last season? They didn't sign a striker. There's not enough firepower. Trusting Kai Havertz. Well, we don't know what would have happened because I'm still going to get to that place now because towards the end of the season or mid-season, Kai Havertz had a long-term injury. He was out for a number of weeks, going to months. So we on one side you can say Kai Havertz is not a complete out and out striker. On the other hand, he was out for a long time. So in reviewing this season, we find out that Arsenal didn't sign a striker. That's one of their problems. And even in January, they even had reluctance to sign a striker. They should have at least spent the money on a striker again. But well, in January, the January transfer window is actually very, very different from the summer transfer window. Clubs are very, very reluctant to release their player, and those that will release the player to you, they are going to release it on a very, very hefty amount. So Arsenal didn't sign a striker in the summer, and also in January they didn't sign a striker. So this is an area I think they should address this summer if they want to go higher. Another thing is they had injuries, especially to key players, Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz, just to name those two, Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz. They were out for a long time, and this actually affected their overall team performance. So injuries, again, if they have signed forward like striker, that could have cushioned the effect of the injuries of their star player, Bukayo Saka. But on the other hand, I think they did well. Not even I think they did well in the Champions League. They had a very deep run in the Champions League, getting to the semi-final only to lose to Paris Saint-Germain, and they beat Real Madrid comprehensively. Kudos to them. However, the issue still remains that I have it here now. This is now 5 years of Mikel Arteta without a trophy. Without a trophy. 5 years of Mikel Arteta. I mean, we can't just keep saying, "Oh, our project is developing. The owners are not hungry." You keep on saying a lot of stuff. Yes, you can say that. Even their neighbor, Spurs. I mean, they won a trophy already. I mean, the Spurs haven't won a trophy for like 17 years. We know that, but all we are trying to say is that Henry was still saying recently. I mean, was saying that even look at Manchester United. That everyone is saying that oh, Manchester United are bad. We are laughing at them today. He said Manchester United have entered into final 5 times in the last few years. The same can't be said of Arsenal. I think Ateta has an habit of trivializing the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, which is not supposed to be so for a manager who has not won much. And if you want to discard those trophies, you need to be sure that you want to go all the way in the Premier League. You want to look at areas that you are not doing well and invest in them. So on one hand, they did well in the Champions League, but as it is, we are not going to clap for them for getting to the semi-final, although kudos to them. But there is nothing we want to give them. There is no trophy for coming, for getting knocked out in the semi-final. So we want to see them get to the final and win the Champions League. Don't tell them as a Chelsea fan they shouldn't win the Champions League. But we want them to win something. We want them to win something. It's not all the time they'll be winning Community Shield. So we can already see signs that they are moving in this summer now. Zubimendi, they are moving with Zubimendi, but that striker, if they buy Zubimendi and they still don't buy a striker, the same issue, they will still have the same issue. You know, at the time they were conceding a lot of goals, then Arteta tweaked the team, now they were stable at the back, now they are not scoring goals. So if you still sign Zubimendi and they still neglect the role of a striker, I still think they will still have that issue. So they need to sign a striker. End of it. But Zubimendi signing, that's like 7/10 already. 7/10. Even without, he hasn't played ball, he hasn't kicked a ball for them. But that's a quality signing. And Jorginho will be leaving. We have the news this morning that Jorginho will be leaving Arsenal. We have the news recently that Jorginho will be leaving Arsenal at the end of his contract. So that means that's like they're replacing Jorginho. But I want to see them sign a striker. Their fans are calling for Alexandra Isak of Newcastle, but Newcastle, his current market price is £75 million. However, Newcastle are in the Champions League and they might not want to sell. So I'm thinking maybe £100 million will get the deal done. There is Benjamin Sesko of is it Leipzig now? Yes, Leipzig. There is Ektite of Etihad Frankfurt, who again is in the market. There is Gyökeres from I hope I got the name right, from Sporting Lisbon, and of course there is Nicolas Jackson from Chelsea. I do believe that Chelsea will be happy to do business with Arsenal. I mean, they are good. They always do business together. I mean, you guys bought Jorginho, and Sterling is still with you. So what is it that your fans will now be saying that what I said is wrong if I suggest Jackson? Jackson not a striker. I'm just joking. So that is a review about Arsenal. As the summer progresses, we are going to come to look at the review again just before the season open. Yes, the season open. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much. We want you to subscribe nonetheless.